Despite being an anime channel, I kinda suck at watching anime and being a YouTube channel. For some reason, ever since I was a kid, I've always found it way easier to crack open a book or to stare at a wall thinking about the inevitable end of the universe and how it will be like nothing ever existed at all, than to sit down and watch an anime episode or a movie. I've been trying to fix this flaw of mine by forcing myself to watch anime and movies instead of reading manga. It hasn't worked at all. I get antsy once I catch up and end up reading the manga and marking that I completed the anime on any list, or I end up doing nothing. It's mainly this option. And movies? That's a topic for a completely different video. Please don't sue me though. I've been trying to reform myself. This season has a lot of really cool shows that I really wanted to watch, so I forced myself to watch them, in hopes of fixing this fatal flaw of mine. And here's what I've been watching this fall 2025 anime season. Starting with what I think may just be anime of the season, This Monster Wants to Eat Me, or Tumuetum for short. That's a joke, please don't abbreviate it like that. This Monster Wants to Eat Me is a horror. Well, calling it horror is a bit of a stretch in my opinion, as it's not so much scary as it is pretty damn sad. It's a story about a monster trying to eat a girl who's really into that idea, but before she can get eaten, that girl needs to lead a happy life, for spoiler reasons. I'm not gonna say much, as experiencing this show blind is the best way to do it, but it's a pretty excellent exploration of grief and stuff, you know? Definitely worth checking out. Sadly, I kind of binged the manga for this one after watching the first episode when it aired, but I forced myself to stop reading so I could watch the anime before it ends. I also watched a little bit of Ranma's second season because the first one was pretty good and I was super excited for it, despite hating the concept of remakes with a passion. Why not make new iconic shows instead of relying on nostalgia? It's not that like there's a lack of unadapted manga out there. I bought the second volume of the Ranma manga at the bookstore yesterday cause they didn't have the first. Sorry, the demons just called it to me. But I persisted. I have yet to open it and I'm glad I haven't. Maybe just a peek? No. The new Ranma anime by MAPPA is probably one of my favorite things I've watched in a while. It's just so charming and funny. The premise is kind of weird if you've never watched anything less normal than 911 or whatever stuff the average American watches, and frankly it has a lot of things I typically wouldn't like, but somehow I feel it works really well. It's about a dude who turns into a girl whenever you splash him with cold water, and also he has an arranged marriage with this girl that kinda hates him called Akane. There's also this giant cast of really unique characters that are fighting with either of them at any given time in order to break off their marriage because they wanna fuck. The characters are super one note and they all have a specific joke or niche each. It's full of cheap fan service and frankly the writing hasn't aged particularly well. But somehow the jokes never get old, the characters paradoxically stay fresh and funny. Plus it's amusing how far this series takes its concepts, like it takes a love triangle and turns it into a love tesseract. It's a joy seeing Ranma get cold water splashed onto him by the most contrived means while fighting some dude that wants to marry Akane who can turn into a dog or something. If I had any problems with this show is that the characters don't have nipples and that looks really weird. You know what else is weird? My irrational hate for normie anime. I just feel performative if I like them. I don't want people to know I fuck with Chainsaw Man, they'll associate me with my cousin. That's just embarrassing. Even though I like Chainsaw Man in a more nuanced and cool way than he does. They'll think we're both peas in a pod. I put Anya on my thumbnail. I have to talk about Spy Family, though it's not like I have any problems with that. I actually really like Spy Family, to the point I own like 6 or 7 volumes of it. Believe it or not, popular things are popular for a reason, and this show was a hit because it has mass appeal, but not in that Mr. Beast kind of way where it's boring and sterile. Spy Family is just a show that anyone can enjoy because it has a little bit of everything for anyone. It has funny children, cute faces, occasionally it has some serious moments that are actually pretty well written. That's just a winning formula. Your dad could probably watch this with you and he'd probably be like, Lloyd, he's just like me for real. The premise is also really interesting. And a spy adopting an Esper and then marrying an assassin for his mission, and then the story centering around how they handle these secrets and hide them from the world and from each other. That's just just a recipe for being an interesting show. But at its core, it's also much more than that. It's a story about a found family becoming, starting fake and becoming real, and being much more of a close and real family than, actual families. It's, I'm telling you, everyone can enjoy this show for a reason. I do have this super small nitpick with the anime though, which is that I don't like how the characters blush in this show. It looks really ugly. Besides that, it's just great. Watch it if you watch it. Just watch it. I'm still catching up from season 3 all the way from season 1, but it's been pretty fun.
Kyle, may I ask for one final thing?
You may not, you presumptuous insect!
I like villainess shows. Even though they're basically the same thing, they scratch this very specific itch in my mind I cannot really describe. This one specifically doesn't really do anything super differently from most other villainess shows, but it's still really entertaining. It's about a noble woman being falsely accused by her ex-future husband of being a bully, like basically every other villainess show out there. But she kind of doesn't care too much about that, and in fact uses this as an opportunity to air out her grievances with everyone by beating the living shit out of people she doesn't like, the thing she does best. And the entire show is just 13 chapters of her doing that, and it's really entertaining, and sometimes you really don't need much but that. This is gonna sound strange, but it reminded me of this old YouTube TV show, I don't know if anyone still remembers it, called Wayne. It's a strange comparison, but for some reason it just really came to my mind whenever I saw this show. I was like, damn, I wish they made a second season of Wayne. Finally, there's this anime called Sanda, which is pretty interesting, or at least the synopsis I read was interesting. It was based on a manga by Paru Itagaki, who made Beastars, an anime I never finished, but I really liked the opening. I caved and read the manga, I'm so sorry. After this season, I don't think I'll hop onto watching anime that much, sadly. There's just something in my small pebble brain that just prevents me from fully enjoying anything I cannot fully control the pace of. Maybe I'm just a bookworm at heart. None of these shows fixed my issue, yet I still had a lot of fun of watching them, and I'll make a video next season like this one again. But by forcing myself to start doing things I know I will enjoy, I've successfully come out of my comfort zone a little bit, and that's a good thing to strive for. Without watching these shows, I would have probably done nothing every day but doom scroll and read books, but not in a healthy way for 3 to 6 months straight. Who knows, maybe I'll go out of my comfort zone more by singing on the streets or something. Nah, I'm just kidding, that's way too much for me. If you enjoyed watching, please leave a like and subscribe, and let me know if there's a show I gotta watch next season or in the future. It can be new or old. Take care, listen to Death Grips, and see you in the next one, if there's a next one.